Welcome to today's collective reading. This is TrinityGaiaOracle. I would like to thank you for being here with me in this space at this time. I am so incredibly grateful for everyone who watches, who likes, comments, and subscribes. Just thank you so much for adding your energy, your choice, your ripple effect in such a positive way. If you do own that there's anything in this reading or the readings that have come before that you've participated in that really resonate, and you can own that. And I want to give you credit for that. So thank you so much for co-creating this reading and this space with me. With that, I'm going to pull a card from the Secret Language of Light. What does the light aspect of self, the light part of your yin-yang, your personal yin-yang, you, we like to highlight for you for today's guidance? Okay. Soul writing. Ooh. Oh, it's just beautiful. Like you have the power to create your own story, to rewrite your story. You've been handed a script. Like, it's a script. Who wrote it? If it's your script, you didn't write it necessarily. Okay. The shadow side of the soul would like to communicate with you and bring to light your relationship with anger. Restoring boundaries and reclaiming balance. I'm going to bring these up to the camera for you guys here so you can see just the power of the imagery. It's a lot of triangle, a lot of geometric and light code. Okay, so this is kind of overarching here. All right, so let's move a little deeper into this, a little more clarification for you guys. The anger is not necessarily a bad thing. Anger, it will cover pain. Initially, it's a defense. It's a need to overcome whatever is causing that pain in that moment to move beyond to where you can heal and not feel so vulnerable. Like your heart's been exposed. Soul writing. So how have you, what's the script you've typically been following when it comes to feeling that need to defend that part of you that feels vulnerable? Woo. Okay. All right, so we have Pilgrim and the Runaway. Ooh. Okay, so you're protective of your light. You found that light. You've been following your light. Okay, your truth, your true north. You're ready to rewrite the story, and you've broken free of that cage. Now, there are some questions present within this. Definitely some questions present within this that only you can answer. These readings, yes, they're definitely here to co-create synchronicities to help you know that you're not alone, that there are others going through this with you that are co-creating it. But it's also to help you gain confidence in your own intuitive knowings, those things that make you go, nah, I would like that so much, but because I like that, I think maybe my intuition may be clouded by my desires for that answer to be truth. And then you question it. It's like hopeful thinking, wishful thinking, the concept of setting yourself up. Okay, it's been like with that anger, there's a deep hurt. It's deep hurt. There's a deep hurt here. And you can rewrite this story. So, what do we need to know about this pilgrim energy here? We'll start here. This pilgrim and runaway. What do we need to know here? Oh, well, right away we have, running from commitment. Okay, so in the running, it's like you've been learning to run from the vulnerability and the hurt. You're running further towards yourself in the hermit, the truth. So we have basically the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups here, both inverted. Yeah. Yep, as you've been running from this, you've kind of, you're a little tired, you're a little run down, you're a little haggard around the edges, very Nine of Wands energy. You're at a crossroads, but it's a crossroads that's within yourself. It's not external. And the 10 of Wands. It's a heavy burden that you carry inside of you. Heavy burden. You may have been repressing your own emotions, and that's part of why it's such a heavy burden. And having to hide how you feel, possibly stuck in a state of waiting for divine timing. Oh, and that may be why the anger is there, because you're now no longer in that state of waiting. It's been divine timing, and now you're like, well, this is the script I'm used to. How do I shake myself loose of this, because I'm no longer waiting for divine timing. Now I actually am in what I have been waiting for. Boop, boop, boop. We got a lot of inverteds. Oh my goodness. Two of Pentacles internally. The villain energy. Okay, I'm going to pause it here. I got to get that light relit here. One moment. All right, and I'm back. Thank you guys very much there. Oh, let's get that out of the way here. All right, so yeah, it's got a new setup here, so I'm getting used to that. Okay. So let's see here. What else did I have? Any more Source Divine, Guardians, Guides? Anything more for us here you'd like us to know? We have the effort line, Queen of Swords in the upright. You've been putting in the work. You have been putting in the work, and it's bringing in, this is the attracting of the opposite sex, the 10 of Cups here. Your goal has been to have this space where you don't feel you need to run. Where if you are in a state of anger, it's respected when you set your boundaries, and not only are you in balance, they are too. They can meet you there. Because if you're healing your relationship with vulnerability, intimacy, commitment, hope, even, and your response to being tempted to be in those spaces and own them, especially with another individual, is to become angry and protective and defensive, you're going to need someone who's balanced themselves. You're going to need somebody who's in balance with themselves, that knows themselves too. Someone that can equally meet you there. Someone that can equally contribute. This is what you've been putting the work in for. So we have healing. Yeah, you don't want to be in regret with this Five of Cups and the inverted. You have past disappointments, past hurts, but you're healing that. And you're choosing to alchemize that within. And I want to read these titles here because they're all unique and they're a little bit different. And there is a synchronicity here. So you are someone who maybe at this time be kind of like experiencing something like maybe you're having a cold, or you feel some part of you isn't as strong as you would like it to be. Maybe as strong as it once was when you were, I don't know, on the varsity team in high school or something, right? But you are very strong of mind and of will. You're very resilient. You're a survivor. And that means this healing process is something that you can give to. You can give to emotionally, but that's you've been manifesting someone who is balanced just as much as you are. You've been watching for this. You've been watching for this. Someone who's just as capable of being adaptive. The energy that I'm getting clearly and channeling in is that you both are very strong-willed individuals. You and this individual that you're manifesting to go through this healing with, and that means that there's going to be change. There's going to be change that's going to rock the boat for both of you. It's going to be a little uncomfortable at times and absolutely exhilarating at others. Like, yes, I didn't even know that this was, something I wanted, but yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah, this is something that is a soul contract between you and them before you incarnated, but there were so many choices that brought the two of you to this particular moment in time for this to be something that could occur. You could have both made different decisions, and it would have been something that just didn't end up getting fulfilled. It would have changed the contract. And there may still be some updates to that contract between the two of you as you go through, but it's something that I'm feeling you're either on the cusp of discovering this individual in the physical. You may be experiencing dreams together that are bringing you closer. You may be experiencing their presence on the periphery of your awareness, or they're actually anchored into your reality, and you're aware that you have a person in mind that this is speaking to, because this reading is for a collective. It's going to be a little bit different for each of us that are co-creating this. There are some of the overarching themes, and that is that you're manifesting an individual that is capable of being balanced while you heal your relationship with intimacy and vulnerability. And the key part here, especially for a individual who is watching this, and this is someone that, you're like, that might be my person. This is kind of them, and I see them in this reading. They may respond with anger to defend themselves. What's underneath that is all this like soft, gooey, like teddy bear kind of heart that they're protecting. So it's almost a good thing if you see them become angry and defensive or whatnot, because it's letting you know, which I'm going to address that in a moment. I got a very clear question, but I'm going to finish this thought, this statement here. That underneath that irritation and that anger and that need to defend and like kind of create some space, it's because they're feeling something. You're inspiring a sense of connection between you and them, and that makes them feel vulnerable. And this is what's healing. It's a dance back and forth. So they do that and, stay away. You're too close. Or I'm going to be a little judgmental or critical or short, and this is where I'm addressing that. This is about a healthy anger. This is about a healthy dynamic between two individuals. It is not about toxic. It is not about gaslighting. This is I am never speaking about that when I'm talking about healing between two individuals. Never. No. If I'm talking about a karmic toxic energy, believe me, you'll know it. I won't be subtle about it. This is not about someone who has any intention to hurt you any more than you have to hurt them. You want the best for one another. They're balanced, you're balanced. That right there says healthy. This is not about toxin. And if that's coming through for me, coming through the collective that is co-creating right now, that means that someone right now may need our thoughts, our intentions, and our prayers to help them heal this, because this was the beginning state. This part of this reading triggered them. So I could hear. And they need our help, our support. If you're willing to offer that, if you're willing to take a moment and, support them tonight, provide them maybe, whatever they may need to find their way through this hurt, because this may be that first step for them opening to actually receiving this blessing that they've been manifesting, which is someone who is balanced and capable of being there with them as they heal this. It's the rewriting of the story, the soul writing. It's you are manifesting this narrative, and by collective, we're all connected. So to that individual, if you're still here, or you've come back and you're watching again, you're not alone. You have a group of people. You have a group here to care. Because of that very thing. If we help you, we're helping ourselves. If we see someone around us that is doing things that are positive and contributing in a very positive way in our world, in our community, it's not a concept of I have less than because you have more. There is it's building one another up. There is more than enough for everybody, and then some. So if you see someone healing, if you see someone being successful and they're coming from a space of the heart and they mean well, that is adding momentum to you manifesting the same, because you can see that there's momentum already in the collective in that direction. It's almost an affirmation that you are going in the right direction. So you're in our thoughts, you're in our hearts, you're in our prayers. And when this person comes in and when this situation presents itself, know that you're supported. Not just by us, but there's a lot in the world that you can't see. Interdimensional, people that you love that have passed on. There's just so much that we don't see that is there, that is helping and supporting us. I have a very clear narrative that has come through with a couple of readers that I've observed, and it kind of made me chuckle, because I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty stubborn. I'm pretty stubborn. That you may just have a whole bunch of, a whole spirit team, a whole angelic team working on trying to get you and this person to a point where you're open to healing with one another. And they're just like, oh, they're so stubborn. Just digging their feet and no. So you have that, as well as people here that we've been there. So they're sending you good thoughts, good feelings, good thoughts. So to kind of bring this to, I don't know, maybe, this is, I'm going to give you the title of this here. It's neuro-linguistic programming. So this is to challenge the assumptions that we have in our own minds, the kind of the language we use to talk to ourselves and relate to the world around us. They can kind of limit how we experience reality. And if we kind of shake up how we use those words with ourselves, then maybe we can open more doors. So this one is outcome orientation. And I just love that that's a mountain before him. And the concept that the peak of mountains have brought you closer to the heavens has been pretty worldwide, especially in like the ancient traditions, the shamanic traditions throughout different cultures. I'll just read it here for you guys, because sometimes reading it out loud or just reading it in quiet, it lands a little different on the psyche. Thus the whole linguistic language. It's easy to spiral into why something is difficult. When you're outcome oriented, when you're overcome by the outcome, boy, when you're outcome oriented, you focus on the results you want to achieve rather than the obstacles in your way. Seeing the destination helps your nervous system navigate the way. So even though that pinnacle of that mountain is your destination, you stay focused on that. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. There's hope because you know where you're going. And sometimes those obstacles are a little more, oh wow, okay, flippy, a little more challenging to overcome, but they're like puzzles. Instead of relating to them in a negative, to challenge yourself, to maybe see it as a game, a puzzle to solve. Sweet, okay. This deck is way too big for my hand. Way too big for my hand. We have mental rehearsal, law of dominant effect, and ecology check. And those flipped out of the deck, and I'm not going to ignore that. So this is like public speaking, and it very muchly looks like angel wings coming out the back. Like quite a bit of these, but in these two in particular. So speaking your truth may be something that's definitely an obstacle. It may cause a lot of anxiety. So each time you rehearse a desired outcome in your mind, you reinforce neural pathways that support success. Later, when it counts, your body recalls what it's been practicing. What fires together, wires together. Use this to your advantage. So this is neuroplasticity. This is science. This is grounded in science. Isn't it cool that we live in a time where that's starting to be backed up? All right, so then we have the law of dominant effect. She just looks so like, I got this. And her eyes are closed, but it almost looks like she's peeking at you a little bit. Yeah. She's manifesting here. The law of dominant effect states that a suggestion becomes far more powerful when paired with a strong emotion. Whether you're influencing yourself or others, remember that emotions amplify the impact of your words, making them more effective. Now, the moment that I read that, what came to mind is sometimes people, they use this as a means to, there is a shadow side to it. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. There's a shadow side to it. You know what you do in that situation? Because if you're already like face value, you're using the law of dominant effect for good, great. But there's some people that use it for negative. Ask them to repeat what they just said that was so emotionally charged and the words were so terrible. Ask them to repeat themselves. Because more than likely when they try to do that a second time, they can't attain the same emotional power behind it. Because they're having to really evaluate the horrible words they used. And it kind of takes the wind out of their sails a bit. So you can use the law of dominant effect that way as well. And then ecology check. I love the pattern on his shirt here. I don't know, it looks really cool. All right, true success is holistic. It serves you, your relationships, and your environment. Before you set any goal or make a big decision, perform an ecology check to ensure it aligns with every aspect of your life. Does this fit with all of what I know of me? Does it fit in this ecology? I have like a memory of high school or, middle school maybe, where you're assigned in science class this tiny square of land and you're supposed to document every little plant and every little insect and, so on and so forth in it. And that's its own little ecology, its own little environment of interaction and how it all interacts and builds off of one another. So if you look at yourself like that, does this addition, this goal, this new thing that you'd like to add, how does it fit in all of that? How does it interact with everything? All right. Okay. Then I'll bring this reading to a close with a thank you for being here through the reading and co-creating it with me, and adding, your momentum, your likes, your shares, your comment, your subscribes, and your views. Just being here, owning that you were present for co-creating this. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, because it has a ripple effect out from you, and there's karma in that. There's karma in that. It's a pay it forward thing. It's owning your power to affect the world in a positive way. It's empowering, really. It really is. And before I fully close, I do want to, speak to I actually uploaded before this reading a talk that led into like a mini meditation at the end, which I think I need to put the timestamps in for that actually. I haven't done that yet, but I will. Either way, I may be uploading a couple more of those, or I may be creating a separate channel. Just so what's here is like channeling, and then there's kind of like another space that's more about like, different tools that you can use to work with your mind that, and it's from a perspective of someone who's just like an average person. I'm not coming at it like I'm some, expert. I'm going, hey, I tried this and this worked. And these are like some things that I've learned about the mind and the process and, why it works and, so on and so forth. Just to kind of make it seem like you're sitting down across from someone in their living room and just having a conversation and getting an actual, like, grounded feedback and insight, and then taking what you want from it and leaving what, definitely if you feel that tool will work for you in that meditation or that talk that week, great. If not, not. But it's been a project I've been guided to start contributing to. So all for the good, like all to help people, because that's what we're here for, right? We all just want to be happier. We all want to be free to be happy. All right then. So the divine, the love within me honors, sees the divine and the love within you. Namaste.